Hi, I'm Bridget, and thank you so much for joining me today for this Vinyasa flow yoga practice. So we're just going to get started in a nice, comfortable seated position. So taking a moment just to find stillness, check in with the body, check in with the mind. So whatever seated position feels most comfortable for you, we won't be here for that long. I've just got the ankles crossed. And then wherever you are, we're going to sit up really nice and tall. So creating a nice long line from the top of the head right down to the tailbone. Slowly closing down the eyes when you're ready. And beginning to connect with the breath. So taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Inhale, filling the body with air. Exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, find that nice length through the spine. And exhale, grounding down. I'm going to try and stay with the breath throughout our practice today. Maybe just taking a moment to notice how you feel. Check in with the mind. If you'd like to take a couple of rolls of the shoulders or take a couple of circles of the neck and the head, now's the time to do that. Otherwise, just being where you're at in stillness with the breath. We'll take one more nice deep breath. And then gently blinking the eyes open. And we're going to make our way down onto the belly for our Sphinx pose. So take your time to get there. I'm going to come through tabletop, lower all the way down to the belly. And then we're going to align the elbows right underneath the shoulders. We've got our arms going out in front of us, kind of keeping the arms a little bit parallel, spreading the fingers nice and wide, and we're pressing onto the tops of the feet, draw the kneecaps up, curl the tailbone down, and then start to press the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together here. So it might not feel like you're doing a lot here, like it's not a big movement, but you really should feel that opening through the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades. If you're starting to feel any pinching or tightness in your lower back, see if you can curl that tailbone down a little bit more and hug the belly button back towards your spine. So nice and active here. Stay with the breath. One more nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. And we'll slowly lower the chest back down. And from here, we're going to find our broken wing pose. I feel like I do this one a lot in my practices, but I think it's a really good one because a lot of the time when we're sitting, we're really rounding forward through the head and the neck and the shoulders, and this really just opens everything up. So I'm going to start with my left arm so that you can see what I'm doing on this side. We're just going to send the left arm out nice and straight beside us. Make sure the shoulder is drawing away from the ear. We're going to try it with a straight arm first. If it doesn't feel like a deep enough stretch, then you can take the arm into that 90-degree bend, kind of like a little cactus or some sort of shape. So either straight or in that bend. Then we're going to roll onto the left side of our body. Just step that right foot behind you. And you've got the right hand just in front of you to keep you pressing into this pose. You might like to reach it up and over you and just let it rest at the lower back. That'll just deepen the pose a little bit more because you're really opening up through the shoulders, creating a little bit more space through the chest, squeezing the shoulders back together. Stay with the breath here. And then slowly we'll melt it back to center. Come back to the center of your mat. You might like to take a roll of the shoulders before we take it to the other side. So then we'll send the right arm out long, so either just straight out to the side or into that 90 degrees. You might like to try them both and see what feels best for you. Roll onto the right side of the body and then just step that left foot behind you. You could also bend through the knees as well here if that helps you stay in this pose. You might like to reach that left hand up and over, bring it to the lower back, open up through the chest a little bit more. Keep breathing. And then we will come back to center. Give the shoulders a little roll. We're going to make our way back up through tabletop and find our first downward facing dog of our practice. So walk the hands forward, a couple of centimeters, tuck the toes under, and we press to lift the hips towards the top back corner of the room. Nice and strong through the arms, so we're pressing the chest back towards the tops of the thighs. You can give those knees a nice generous bend. Pedal out the feet, stretch into the backs of the legs. Stay with the breath. Finding a little bit of movement, bend the knees, and then find stillness for a moment. Then when you're ready, we're going to drop down through the left heel. Inhale to lift the right foot up into our three-legged dog. We're going to move through like a little bit of a figure eight movement from here. So we're going to bend that right knee. Exhale, draw it forward up into the chest. So we're moving forward onto the hands, almost into a plank pose. Draw that knee in towards the chest. We're going to tap it over towards the left elbow first. Move it across to the right. Bring it back up and finish that figure eight. So over to the left, back around to the right, and then we draw it back in towards the chest, tap it towards that left elbow. So this is our second figure eight. We're going to do one more. Finishing that shape, breathe into the back of that left leg. And last one, we draw it in towards the chest, tap it over towards that left elbow, move it to the right, and then we finish off that shape. Straighten through the right leg, and then we'll drop it back down to meet back with the left foot. When you're ready, take a breath. We're going to take it to the other side. So drop down through the right heel this time. We're going to inhale, lift the left foot up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And we'll move through those same figure eight movements on this side. So bend through the left knee. We're going to exhale, shift forward, draw that knee in towards the chest. Take it over to the right elbow, over to the left. And we finish our figure eight shape as we move back into our downward facing dog. Two more just like that. So we're kind of moving from plank back to that upside down V in our downward facing dog shape. Taking that knee with us. Tap it over to the right elbow. We've got the left elbow. And we finish it off in our downward facing dog. And we bring the left foot back to meet the right. Pedal it out a little bit here. And then drop the knees. Just for a moment, we'll take a child's pose just so you can check in with the body here. So sink the hips back down towards the heels. You can keep the arms out in front of you, or you might like to bring them to the side. I like having them forward in front of me so I can come up onto the fingertips and get a little bit more of a stretch through the arms and the shoulders. So breathing even here, super aware of the body. Inhale, we expand. Exhale, see if you can let go a little bit more, melting down into the mat. One more nice deep breath here. And then we'll start to move through a little bit of our flow. So let's come back up through tabletop to make our way to downward facing dog. So pressing to lift the hips, pedal out the feet. And then when you're ready, we'll start to flow. Drop the left heel down. We find our three-legged dog. Lift the right foot. Exhale, we draw it in towards the chest, squeezing it up, and we step it forward between the hands into our low lunge. So find your low lunge, check in with the lower back, make sure you're not pinching there. Nice generous bend into that right knee. From our low lunge, we're going to find our pyramid pose, so open up through the hamstrings a little bit more. Step that left foot forward just a couple of inches or so that you can straighten through both legs and feel a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. So we don't want to lock the knees here. We want a little bit of movement, or you can bring a nice bend into that front knee if it feels like too much. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and see if you can send the chest forward a little bit here, or almost chest towards the toes. So we're not really rounding here, we're trying to open up through heart space. From our pyramid pose, we're going to come back into our low lunge. So step that foot back into your low lunge again here. We're going to power up through legs and find our warrior two. So pivot on that back left foot, turn the outside edge of the foot parallel with the short edge of your mat, and we cartwheel the arms open. Nice bend into that right knee. Feel it out in the body here. Make sure the tailbone is tucking down and under so that you're nice and long through the spine. Drop the shoulders. Find the breath. And then we'll find our peaceful warrior. So flip the right palms and the fingertips forward, up and back. Breathe into the right side body. We'll make our way back to our warrior two and then find our triangle pose. So straighten through the right leg. We're going to send that right hand forward and drop it down towards the mat, reaching up with the left hand. Seeing if you can flatten out through the body. So you kind of want the body to be all in one line. So you might need to pull the chest back a little bit here and push the hips forward. You can let the right hand just rest on the shin, maybe looking up. And then really nice and slowly from our triangle pose, we're going to find our extended side angle. So we're just going to bring the bend back into that right knee, and then you can bring your right elbow to sit on that right knee and reach forward with the left hand. So we're not going really far, just bringing the bend back into that knee, reaching forward. And then on an exhale, we're going to come back to that runner's lunge. So drop the hands back down to frame that right foot in our lunge. We'll find our lunge with a twist. So drop the left palm. Inhale, we reach the right hand up towards the sky. From your twist, we're going to lower the back knee and reach back towards that left foot. You can either stay here or you might be able to lift that left foot away from the mat and draw it in towards you for a quad stretch. Staying here for just a breath or two. Breathing into that stretch. And then we'll let that foot come back down. Come back to your lunge. We'll lift the left knee away from the mat. Plant the palms. Step that right foot back to meet the left in your plank. And we'll find our chaturanga. So you can either lower all the way down to the belly and lift it up through your cobra, or lower down halfway. Flip onto the tops of the feet and find your upward facing dog. So your choice of heart opener here. And then we'll slowly make our way back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Find a little bit of movement when you get there. Pedal out through the feet. Nice and strong through the arms. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. And we'll take it to the other side when you're ready. So we'll drop down through the right heel this time. Inhale, lift the left foot up, three-legged dog. On an exhale, let's hug it in towards the chest and then step it forward between the hands into our runner's lunge. So check out your lunge. Notice how you're feeling here. Really lifting that right knee away from mat, open up through heart space. From our lunge, we're going to find our pyramid pose. So step that right forward just a little bit so that you can straighten through the legs, level out the hips and open up through heart space. You can keep a nice little bend through that left leg, breathing into the back of the leg. And then once you're ready, we'll step it back into our lunge. Step that right foot back and bring the bend back into that left knee. From here, we're going to find our warrior two. So pivot on that right foot, turn the outside edge parallel with the short edge of your mat. We're going to cartwheel the arms open, opening out to the long edge of our mat. So I'm going to be looking the other way this time. Nice bend into that left knee, spreading the arms wide, drop the shoulders. Check in with the hips a little bit here, noticing where your body is in space. Looking out past those left fingertips. And when you're ready, we'll find our peaceful warrior. So flip the left palm, send the fingertips forward, up and back, stretch into the left side body. And then back to warrior two, straightening the arms. Then we'll straighten through that left leg. So take the bend out of that left knee. Send that left hand forward and then drop it down towards your mat. Reaching up to the sky with the right hand. You might like to rest that left hand on the shin. Again, check where the body is in space. So you might need to press those hips forward, draw the shoulders down and together so you can press the chest forward. Or press the chest back. Usually we're rounding forward through the chest, so you might need to pull it back a little bit. And then from here, we'll find our extended side ankle. So start to bring that bend back into the left knee so that you can bring your left elbow to rest. And then reaching forward with the right hand this time. Give the fingertips a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe looking up. And then on an exhale, let's come back to that lunge. So frame the left foot with the hands. We're going to find our lunge with the twist. So plant the right palm. Inhale, we reach up to the sky with the left hand. We're going to drop the right knee and then reach back towards the right foot this time. You can either stay here. If you feel like you can lift that right foot away from the mat, you can reach back and grab it. Pulling it in towards you, you should feel a really nice quad stretch here. Just taking a moment to take a nice deep breath. Really nice stretch through the body. And then we'll come back to our lunge, bring that left hand back to frame that left foot. We lift the right knee away from the mat so that we can move through our chaturanga. So you've got your two options here. Step it back. You can lower all the way down to the belly with the knees lowered or lifted, or lower halfway. Find your heart opener. And slowly make our way back to downward facing dog. We'll take 3 nice deep breaths when we get there. And then when you're ready, we're going to move through that flow. And again, so back over to the right side this time. When you're ready, we'll drop the left heel down. Inhale, we reach the right foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw it in towards the chest. We step it forward into our lunge. When you're ready, we'll find that pyramid pose. So step the left foot forward. We're straightening out through both legs, leveling out the hips. Take a breath here. And then let's come back to our lunge. When you're ready, we'll find our warrior two. Pivot on that left foot. We cartwheel the arms open. Find your warrior two. On an inhale, we'll find our peaceful warrior. Flip that right palm, send the fingertips forward, up and back. And then back to warrior two. We'll find our triangle pose, straightening through the right knee. We send the fingertips forward, drop that right hand down and lift the left hand up. Maybe looking up here. Moving into our extended side angle, we bring the bend back into that right knee. Let the right elbow rest on the knee, and then we reach forward with the left hand. On an exhale, let's drop that left hand down. We come back to our lunge. Plant the left palm. Inhale, we reach the right hand up towards the sky. Drop that left knee, and we reach it back. Find your quad stretch. Drop that left foot back down. We come back to our lunge. Lift the knee away from the mat. We find our plank pose and move through your variation of your chaturanga. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Breathe into the backs of the legs. Check in with how you feel. Noticing how the right side feels compared to the left. How you feel through the chest and the legs. Noticing the breath. And then when you're ready, we'll take it over to the other side. So we're going to drop through the right heel this time. Inhale, reach the left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw it in towards the chest, and we step it forward between the hands. From here, we're going to find our pyramid pose. So step that right foot up and straighten through the legs. Level out the hips, open through the heart. Let's step it back into our lunge, and we'll pivot on the right foot. Find our warrior two. Cartwheel those arms open. Nice bend into the left knee. On an inhale, we'll find our peaceful warrior. Flip the left palm. Send the fingertips forward, up and back. Breathe into the left side body. Coming back to warrior two, we'll find our triangle. Straighten through the left knee. Send the left hand forward. Drop it down. The right hand comes up towards the sky. Nice line through the body, flattening out. We find our extended side angle. Bring the bend back into that left knee and rest the elbows. You reach forward with your right hand. Pressing the hips forward. And then drop that right hand all the way down. We find our lunge. Plant the right palm. Inhale. We reach up. Find your twist. And then drop the right knee, maybe reaching back to find that quad stretch. And then let go of that foot, come back to your lunge and lift the knee. We move through our chaturanga. So plant the palms, find your plank, lower halfway or all the way. Opening up through the heart. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Nice and strong through the arms, pressing back. Bend the knees. We're going to take that flow one more time on either side, really moving with the breath this time, and then we'll start to close our practice. So let's move one last time. Let's drop the left knee. Inhale, reach the right foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw it in towards the chest. We step it forward into our low lunge. Inhale, we'll step that left foot forward, straighten out through the legs. Take a nice deep breath here. And exhale, we step it back. On an inhale, we'll find our warrior two. Pivot on the left foot, open out. Inhale, we'll find our peaceful warrior. Flip the right palms and the fingertips forward, up and back. And exhale, back to warrior two. We'll straighten through the right leg. Find your triangle pose. Drop the right hand, lift the left. Exhale, let's find our extended side angle. Bend into the right knee. We reach forward with the left hand. Nice deep breath in, and we exhale, come back to that lunge. And we find our twist. Inhale, reach the right hand up towards the sky, and exhale, we drop the knee, reach it back. Take a nice deep breath here. And then we bring it back to our lunge and move through our chaturanga. So inhale to plank, exhale to lower. Inhale to your heart opener. And exhale back to our downward facing dog. Pressing the chest back. Take 3 nice deep breaths here. Checking in with how you feel. And when you're ready, we'll take it to the other side. Drop down through the right heel. Inhale, we lift the left foot up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, squeeze that knee in towards the chest. We step it forward, low lunge. Inhale, let's find our pyramid. Step the right foot forward, straighten through the legs. 1 nice deep breath here. And then exhale, step it back into our lunge. On an inhale, we find our warrior two. Cartwheel the arms open. And inhale to our peaceful warrior. Flip the left palms and the fingertips forward, up and back. Back to our warrior two. And we find our triangle, straighten through the left knee. Send that left hand forward, drop it down. The right hand comes up. Leveling out through the body. And then exhale to our extended side angle. Bend into the left knee. Reach that right hand forward. Moving back to our lunge. On an inhale, we find our twist. Inhale, reach the left hand up. Exhale, drop the right knee and reach it back. Maybe catching a hold of that foot. Take a nice deep breath here. And then we make our way back to our lunge. Lift that right knee and find your plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale for your heart opener. And exhale. We come back to our last downward facing dog. Take 3 really nice deep breaths here. On your last exhale, you might like to let it out through the mouth. So nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Awesome. Now let's drop the knees back down to the mat. We'll find our child's pose here. So keep the knees together. Walk the toes together as well. We're going to sink the hips back down towards the heels. Reach the arms out in front of you, or you might like to bring them to the side. Find the breath here. And come back to that idea of expansion with the inhale. And really letting yourself melt down towards your mat with each exhale. Noticing if there's anywhere that you can relax a little bit more. Can you let go of some tension through the shoulders? Relaxing the muscles of the face. Slowing down the breath. You can stay in your child's pose for a little while longer if you would like to. Otherwise, we're going to make our way into our Gomukhasana. So coming back into tabletop for just a moment, we're going to bring the right knee into the center of our mat first. We're going to pick the left knee up and cross it over. Turn the toes out to the edges of your mat and then sink the hips back down. So you should have the right knee stacked on top of the left knee and then the feet out to the side. We're going to get really nice and tall through the spine again here. Maybe give the shoulders a couple of rolls, a couple of circles of the neck. So you can either stay here for this one, or if you'd like to, you might like to take a forward fold. Just notice how you feel through the hips. I really like the feeling of the stretch when I'm sitting up nice and tall, but you might like to find that forward fold, or you can walk the hands behind you and lift through the chest for a little bit more heart opening. Whatever works for you here. Maybe closing down the eyes. Taking 2 more nice deep breaths. And we'll slowly come back onto the hands. Unravel so that we can take it to the other side. So we'll bring the left knee to the center this time. Pick the right knee up, cross it over, bring the feet out to the sides of the mat and then walk the hips back. You should have the left knee stacked above the right this time. So just try it out sitting up nice and tall here with that nice long line through the spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe closing down the eyes, or if you would like to, you can find that forward fold again here. Maybe taking a couple of circles of the neck, the shoulders, or finding that heart opener. So you've got lots of options here, depending on what your body needs today. Staying with the breath. And then when you're ready to come out of this one, we'll come back onto the hands so that you can unravel the legs. And then we're going to make our way all the way back to lie down. Really start to slow down our practice, making our way to Savasana. So when you get there, keep the knees bent. You might like to take a couple of windscreen wipers, so dropping the knees one side down to the other. I always really like doing this. As soon as I lie down, I'm making windscreen wipers. So just feeling it out. And then when you're ready, we're going to take another little stretch through the legs and the hips. We're going to find our half happy baby, and you can take full happy baby if you would like to, but I really like to do one leg at a time because I feel like you can just feel into the stretch a little bit more. So we'll send the left leg out long first. Then we're going to bend the right knee in towards us. See if you can bring that right hand to the inner arch of that right foot and then lift that foot up towards the sky. Draw that right knee in towards the armpit and see if you can keep that right shoulder pressing down and into your mat as well. I know that was a lot of instructions. You can either keep that left leg out long or you might like to bend it for a little bit more support and stability. Just depends what works for you. So maybe closing down the eyes here. Coming back to the breath. Again, feel free if you would like to just do your full happy baby while we're doing the right side than the left side. You can just stay with both. Breathing into that stretch. And then slowly we'll let that foot go, sending the right leg out nice and long. You might like to give the legs a little wiggle before we take it to the other side. And when you're ready, we'll bend that left knee in towards us. Bring the left hand to the inner arch of the left foot this time, and then send the left foot up towards the sky, the sole of that left foot up towards the sky. Draw that knee in towards you and the left shoulder down towards the mat. You can adjust your right leg as you need to help you feel a bit more balanced. And then we're just breathing, slowing everything down. One more nice deep breath here. And then we'll release that left foot, send it back out long. Give the legs a little bit of a wiggle. You might like to stretch them up tall. I didn't want to do that because I knew my pants would come up. So stretch the legs out. And then we're going to make our way to our Supta Baddha Konasana, which is another one of my favorites. So bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to just let the knees fall to either side. If you've got some blocks or pillows or something you'd like to bring underneath the knees for a bit more support, that can be really nice as well, because sometimes it can feel a little bit pinchy, but it depends on the day really. So just let the knees fall apart. You can just send the arms out to the side. You might like to rest one hand on the belly, one hand on heart space, or make a little hammock with the hands, and then bring the hands behind the head, staying nice and open through the shoulders. Again, close down the eyes. Slowing down the breath, but still trying to keep the breaths nice and long. Filling the entire body with air. And then remember that melting with the exhale. So letting the body get really heavy, letting go of any tension every time you exhale. Just taking this time for yourself, enjoying being in this stillness, just letting yourself be in this stillness. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the knees back in. Before we close our practice, we'll take our supine twist. So one last twist of the spine. Before we close our practice, we'll send the left leg out nice and long, hug the right knee in towards the chest, and then we're going to sink it down over towards the left side of our mat. Send the arms out nice and wide into a big T shape, and then maybe turning to look at the right hand, seeing if you can keep the shoulders drawing down onto your mat here. And then we breathe along the length of the spine. Staying with those nice long deep breaths. And then on an exhale, we draw the belly button down to come back to center. Bring that right knee back. We take it to the other side. So send the right leg out nice and long. We hug the left knee in towards the chest. And then we drop it down over to the right side of our mat this time. Send the arms out into a nice big T shape. And then maybe turn to look at the left hand. Closing down the eyes. Find your breath. And on an exhale, we'll bring the left foot back, come back to center, and make our way to our final resting posture, our Savasana. So send the legs out long. If it feels like, if you feel like there's a little bit of pinching or soreness in the lower back, you can bend the knees and let them fall in towards each other. Otherwise, straightening out through the legs, sending them out. Bring the arms to either side. If you palms facing up, you might like to lift the chest and draw the shoulders away from the ears. So creating that space between the shoulders and ears. Closing down the eyes here. And I know sometimes when you get to Shavasana, you feel like, I've done it, that's it for me for today. I'll just turn this off and go about my day. But I really encourage you to stay here for just another couple of minutes of your Shavasana. Taking this time for yourself, really letting your body soak up all the goodness from your practice today. So stay with me here in Shavasana. Close down the eyes. Letting the breath return to normal. But still, with every exhale, feel the body get really heavy. Inhale and exhale. Let yourself melt down towards your mat a little bit more. We're just going to run through a quick scan of the body, just so we're getting all of those benefits, really checking in. So we'll start at the top of the head, sending your awareness there, noticing how you feel as you move down through the forehead. So relaxing any muscles there, flattening out any crinkles, any tension you might be holding, let it go. Relaxing through the eyebrows, letting them become still. Down through the eyelids, see if you can relax them a little bit more. Use an exhale, let them relax. Moving down through the cheeks. Send your awareness to the lips and the jaw, maybe parting the back teeth so that the jaw can relax. Then moving down through the neck and the shoulders, really noticing how you feel here. And as we scan through the body, we're really just noticing, not judging anything, just allowing things to be as they are. Noticing and then letting it go. Inhale, exhale, see if you can melt down a little bit more. And then moving on down through the arms, through the elbows, the wrists. Send your awareness to the hands. Notice how the tops of your hands feel pressed against the floor beneath you. Bring your awareness to the palms of the hand. As you shift your awareness, you might feel a slight tingling sensation as you focus on different parts of the body. And bringing that awareness back to the chest, the upper spine. Exhale, letting the chest get really heavy. As we move down through the spine, the belly, relaxing the muscles there as we make our way down to the hips, the glutes, the groin area, sending your awareness down through the legs, the upper thighs, the quads, stopping at the knees for a moment, check in with how they feel, just becoming aware, not judging, letting it go and moving down through the lower parts of the legs, the ankles, sending your awareness to the tops of the feet and then to the soles of the feet. Maybe noticing the temperature of the feet, just becoming aware. Mine are kind of cold, in case you were wondering. That's what made me thought of it. It made me think of it. Just staying in stillness for a moment longer with your breath. Maybe the corners of the mouth start to lift into a little bit of a smile. And just maybe coming into a feeling or a sense of gratitude for yourself for showing up for this practice today. Gratitude for your body for moving you through this practice. Gratitude for this day that you've been given. No matter what the day is like. And knowing that you are exactly where you need to be right now in this very moment. Just becoming really present here in stillness. Letting go of whatever came before this practice and anything that comes after. Just being exactly where you are. And if you would like to stay in your Savasana for a little while longer, then you can pause the video here. Otherwise, when you're ready, we'll start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Rock the head from side to side, bending the knees when you're ready, and turning onto one side. Slowly making your way to seated. You can keep the eyes closed when you get there. I feel like my eyes still need to be closed, so just however feels most comfortable in seated when you get there. Or you can close your practice in your Shavasana if you're still there. Otherwise, we're going to take one last nice deep breath together. So inhale, nice deep breath. Inhale the hands up and overhead, bring the palms together. And then exhale, we bring the hands down to heart space, bowing through the head and the neck. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. I hope you feel amazing. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.